What is up, YouTube? Back at shop 2 today. A couple things I gotta address. Been mowing down the grass down low, so I need new cotter pins for the front deck support on this thing. I broke them, cutting way deep grass. More than I should be with that, but Softail is done and running like a top. No complaints on this one. And then really just a lot of cleanup and getting everything ready for the party on Saturday. I don't know when this video is going to air, so it might be after that. But I'll try and get some footage of all of that too. But got a big tent camping area mowed down the hill. I guess we could take a look at that. Back on the Falcon, the intake manifold. So I got one side completely done, ported, gasket matched on here, and then the other side of this is almost there. I just got to run through. I ran out of the little roll-lock sanding discs, so I got to finish cleaning these. I probably got about 10 more minutes on there, and then we'll be able to bolt this single plane back onto the Falcon with the new carb. Lots of little oddball project updates. My V-twin order should be here so I can finish the brakes on this bike and the lower fork nut that broke. And if we come outside, here's kind of where we've been mowing. It's probably going to be a little hard to see. GoPros don't do the best for long distance, but this path is all cleared out. You can kind of see the fresh cut grass hopefully down there in front of that little swim rail platform, and then kind of mowed out some more on this side. Just getting everything prepped and ready. We're going to do a slip and slide because that's, why not, really? Slip and slide's going to be coming right down here, so we'll have the hose going with a thing of dish soap, slide down the hill. I don't think I have enough to make it all the way down, but I should have enough to have a good time. Then the other plastic boat is in the water. I've been working with Jesse, trying to figure out a game plan on this thing. The only main ones that are of concern are gonna be, there's a couple splits on the top side of the pontoon, but those ones aren't nearly as significant as this one. And I think there's one more break up front, but I need a small little handheld blaster, which I think I'm gonna go grab because I wanna stock up on a couple tools over at the High Quality Harbor Freight. But they sell those little, like, I don't know, 10-ounce ones. I'll probably have to fill it a couple times, but I don't want to pull a big blaster out and hit any of that because it's not necessary. Everything on there is pretty light. We already have compressed air out here. I don't need the diesel compressor for what we're doing. It's really just quick little spots because welding aluminum has to be clean. If you've never done it, try welding dirty aluminum and let me know how it goes because it's not fun. But end of those updates, what I want to do right now, since it's too early to go to the store, I figured I'd stop here and play with this. So this is a one kick bike all day long with the choke on. I'm still waiting on the new carb. I don't know when that's coming. Bought it on eBay. I haven't gotten any shipping info, so hopefully they didn't just take my money, but I'll check the mailbox again today at the shop, see if that showed up in the office mailbox. They sometimes put things in and they get lost forever. But this will run on the choke, runs good, holds idle good. Everything should be rideable, but I haven't been able to try riding it because we have clutch problems. Obviously the lever's bent, but I'm not worried about that part. What I am worried about is getting this rehooked back up. And I should probably put a jack back underneath this because it's a little wobbly. Let me throw a jack under here and then I'll show you. Here's it runs kind of like the early style shovel clutch pin. I don't know if this is factory or if this is just what they had in there, but it's got one of the little bushings on the lever. This is super bent. So basically the cable is snapping out of this and it's bent and it's cracked. So I dug out my control bin in the trailer and I have this one. So I don't know if I'm gonna try swapping the whole lever. I think that should be the same. Yeah, maybe we'll put the lever on. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me throw you guys up on the tripod. All right, I got you guys up on the tripod now. It's kind of goofy. I do want to go through and look at the clutch on this, but the issue is If I put the bike in the air, then it's a pain to reach the clutch lever. If I leave the clutch or bike on the ground, lever and cable over here on this side are gonna be a lot easier to work on, but it's not as easy over here, and I gotta bend down. I'm getting old. But I do want to pop these out. So underneath here should be the clutch stuff. I've never actually looked at one of these, but I'm guessing it's probably some sort of ball and ramp plate type clutch for the adjuster at least. We'll find out together. Well, that's inconvenient. I was hoping that would have just popped right off. Is there fluid in here? Why is there oil coming out? Well, it's moving. It's not really helping me. There we go. A little bit of oil. Not too much. Okay, so here is our clutch setup. Well, that's not right. Kind of just like a Sportster style, looks like. So let me loosen some of this stuff up. 1/2 inch metric, what are we thinking? 13? 13 it is. So we need that. We need a skinny flat screwdriver that I can get in there and make the adjustments, and then hopefully this one up here is also a 13. Please. All right. So what I'm gonna do here is basically adjust a clutch. So I'll set this on here. I'm gonna thread this back in, and then obviously this might need a readjustment once we get the actual clutch part set. But for now, to give myself maximum adjustment, because it was kind of tight up top on the cable, go back to there, put this back in. And are you in or out? Go till it touches, 1/2 a turn back, 3/4 of a turn back, and then we should be able to snug this up. So when you pull the cable, it'll push this actuator up. So until it touches, 1/2 a turn back, 1/4 to 1/2 somewhere in between there, maybe 3/4 even. Hold your screwdriver in, tighten down the jam nut, like that. Now, since this is all floating, we'll go up top. Can I make you guys tall enough? There we go. Something like that. And then I think I'm just gonna swap this lever out completely. So I'm gonna grab a screwdriver, we'll pop the clip, just standard Harley E-clip on the bottom of this lock pin right here. Come on, you. I actually need one of these for the soft tail too. Found that out the other day while riding. That was a interesting situation. Riding on the road and go to hit the brake and the brake arm kind of pivoted, and this was 3/4 of the way up and out. So there's our clutch lever, the bent old one. And we'll come over to the magic pile of stuff over here from the parts bin. Oh, I got a new clip on here too, so that's perfect. We'll fix the soft tail today too. Bonus video. Okay. So snap rings are off. Now I don't need the perch part of this, so that's fine. We'll set that off to the side. Put the broken one back in there. Maybe this will fit, maybe it won't. It won't. So scratch that. We're gonna use the old lever. Could have saved myself some time if I checked that first. Pins are the same. Back to the old lever. Looks like somebody just ground this down anyway, so this is definitely not the correct one. But I don't feel like grinding anything right now. It's too early in the morning. Okay, pin is in. Lock pin will go back in. Man, not strong enough. So this is definitely not the right clutch lever assembly, but we'll make it work. So this threads into the housing, so we gotta start there. Ooh, these threads are not happy. Cross thread's a tight thread. It's going, just a little slow. But I'm gonna adjust this all the way in. So we set the preload on the clutch with that adjuster. Everything else we're doing now is going to be kind of cable adjustments and lever adjustments to accommodate wherever this thing lands, since we're mix and matching parts. But it shouldn't really need much. All it's got to do is pull up on that cable onto that actuator, and it should, in theory, engage the clutch. All right, so we're seated there. We got a decent amount of cable left out here. Now, we need our non-bent and broken roll pin. These are slotted. You have just a slot on one side and then a detent on the other. That's the one I want facing out because that's what this ball is going to engage in. So I'll drop this in here. Takes a little bit of finessing, I think. Ball out of the way, and we might be able to rotate this a little bit. Okay, now the ball is engaged in that groove right there. So now we got to start taking some of the slack out of the cable itself. So I'm going to keep that in the closed position. So I'll start backing this one out now. You guys should be able to see the lever adjusting. All right, that's all the way out. I don't want it that far, so I'll go 3 turns back. Okay, so this did kick out a good amount. It's doing things. It's see what it's doing down here. All right, you guys are down by the clutch now. If I pull the lever, still got a little play in here. I think I can get that out at the lever though. Let's tweak that. Let's go one more turn back. One and a half maybe. Grab the 10 mil on the cable, lock your jam nut. So we got a little bit of play there. It's a little tight. Move my tools off of this thing. And then, let's see what happens if I get this thing, let's jack it up a little bit. I've got 4 of these little scissor lift things. I feel like every one is a different size. It's really annoying. Just getting the back wheel off the ground now. Locked in gear. And our clutch is not working. Why? We do a little more adjustment up top here. Try and get a little more on this cable. This is kind of what happened on the soft tilt too. And then I rode it and it was just fine. Not anticipating that being the case here. I don't know what the ratio or how messed up the ratio is on here either. I don't know how tight this clutch has to be. Let me mess around with the basket again. I think that should be about it. It's gotta go that way. Pull the lever, this pulls up. How much movement are we getting down here? Can't imagine it needs all that much. Yeah, let's fire it up. It's like 7 something now. We just won't rev it up like crazy. Should be okay. How much clutch fluid is gonna get everywhere though? Whatever. We can make a little bit of a mess. I don't mind. Key on. In gear. And that clutch did nothing. Nothing at all. Okay, I got some more messing around to do. Well, clutch is still sticking. I readjusted it, I put the cover back on. It's already smoky in here. I ran it with that cover open. The clutch is somewhat engaging. I don't know if it's the lever that's not giving me enough action or what, but the other issue is this bike's been sitting for so long. There's a very good chance that these clutch discs are just stuck. So I think what I'm gonna do, I got this back together. I don't have time right now, but later on today, I think I'm gonna come back up here, pull this off the bench, fire it up, and just dump the clutch against the wall a couple times, try and see if I can break anything free on there. What else do I need? I need a zip tie. If for the kickstand. Oh, they already thought of that. There's some baling wire here, just for that purpose. So that'll be nice and safe, just like that. So I think we're gonna try and ride this thing today. I mean, if the clutch is sticking and not working, I should still be able to run it up and down the hill a few times, or at least ride the thing. It'll be a little sketchy, but what do you need a clutch for? It's a dirt bike. Just bang the gears through. Hopefully the brakes work. That'd be nice, but that's where we're gonna leave this one for now. I'll bring you guys back later on today when we do a little rip around the property and see if I can free those clutches up before I go too crazy. I don't like the way the clutch lever action feels. This is extremely tight, but it is pulling, and that lever on the other side is working. So it's up on the stand now, kind of making all sorts of weird noises when I'm running it up here like that. Not my favorite. I'd much rather just have this on the ground. I know it'll idle well, so as long as I can get it idling, even if I park it up next to the side of the barn in first gear and just dump the clutch a couple times, stall it, whatever. Not worried about that, but hopefully we can knock some of those discs free. It's been sitting a really long time, so very strong likelihood that those are a little stuck, but we'll update you guys later on today. All right, just made it back to shop number 2. Been blasting all day. AMF dirt bike is off the lift. Got a fan up here finally. Daddy's going to town setting up shirts and things, and grabbed my small little roller service cart and reloaded tools. So I actually have some stuff. No more of that super glide fighting, non-ratcheting wrenches. I just grabbed some super cheap Harbor Freight special sockets and standard things. All standard, no metrics, but that's all we're really doing most of the time except for this. So this is off the lift. We're gonna pull this out. I'm gonna try and fire it up and maybe wedge it into the barn and just dump the clutch a couple times and see what happens. Oh no, did I kill the fucking battery? Started first kick. I think I left the battery on. Come on. What would change? Unless I left the fucking battery on today when I left this morning. Why? All I wanted to do was ride this today. Well, that's not cool.
Mildly upsetting.
Whew.
It just started up first kick?
This morning,
Yeah.
I was running like a top. Well, it was a one-kick bike for a while, but I did leave the key on, so we'll let this charge up for a little bit and then we'll try taking it for a ride. All right, well, it's the next morning. Unfortunately, all of my plans to try riding this thing yesterday came to a full stop. Was running up on the lift. I got the ironhead chopper up here now, but it was running on the lift. Fired up yesterday morning when I had it in gear, trying to see if I could knock that clutch free, and everything was good. Figured it'd be fine. It's been literally a surprising one kick bike the last week or so, but now I set the camera up out there because I was gonna fire it up, drive it into the barn, dump a clutch, going in, try and break the clutch plates free. It won't start. I couldn't figure out, I wasn't sure if I left the key on, but the horn's working. So if I go to accessory, we have headlight, we have tail light, we have horn, really loud horn. So it's getting voltage, but it is not getting any spark. I had this on a charger overnight, thinking maybe I just drained it, but we are not getting anything. So I don't know if the CDI box took a crap or if the coil crapped out, one of the two. I'm guessing maybe the coil. I'm gonna start with that. In terms of the CDI box, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't wanna buy a used one because I think they were notorious for crapping out. I might, at the other shop, I used to build a bunch of those 50cc mopeds and things. I might have one of those universal blue CDI brain boxes over there that we might be able to try wiring in, but I'm gonna have to figure out how exactly I wanna go about doing that. I will need some sort of external puller for this if I need to get in there. I don't know. Well, it's no spark, right? So I know the battery has voltage. It's either the coil, something down in here, or the pickup, or the brain box. So points are nice because it's pretty simple circuit. Points open, points close, it's mechanical. When an electronic ignition fails on you, there's a lot of variables there. I'm assuming that these are all good just because I can't see the rotor going bad with how well this thing was running. This little pickup could definitely be that, unless there's something in there to clean, but it doesn't look dirty. That's why this cover's off. Or coil is more likely, or that brain box, to me, in my experience, tend to be the most common culprits. So unfortunately, we're not gonna be riding this. I still wanna mess with it, but I got a ton of work to do up at the shop. So go up there, blast for a while. Maybe tomorrow I'll be able to kind of diag this a little bit better. I gotta grab my voltmeter and stuff anyway, but sorry for the letdown. I was excited about it too. If you guys are disappointed, how do you think I feel? But in other news, later on today, the other thing I wanna take a look at, here's that crusty swap meet Springer. Freshly coated, looking extremely nice. And I splurged a little because I had to order some parts. I needed the Springer rods, so we got brand new Parkerized rods for this, and then I bought some brand new springs too. So instead of trying to clean up the old ones, we're gonna lay these out and try and get this all cleaned up and put back together. Should be a nice front end when it's all done. So there's the update for you. Again, kind of a letdown on this, but know that I'm feeling it more than you guys are. We'll catch you guys on the next one.